Hello, crafty friends. This is Anya General with Ink, Paper, Scissors. Today, we're diving into another installment of the Use Your Paper Scraps series. In this episode, I'm using the Waffle Flower Postage Collage die and the Postage Collage Mini Slimline die, but just the large dies from the set. These dies have been so popular in the last couple of years that most of us own some type of postage collage die from one of the companies. So you could use anyone's postage collage die for this project. Before we get started, I want to share that one of my subscribers recently asked me how I pick colors and how my designs come together so cohesively. So instead of playing music through most of the process today, I'll actually talk you through my color choices and give you tips on how I decide which colors work well together. If you ever struggled with mixing and matching scraps or finding the right background for your designs, this video is for you. Also, if you're new here, I'd love for you to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload. I post regularly to bring you fresh, creative card making inspiration. I always post a new video on Tuesday. I host a YouTube live stream on Wednesday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I would love it if you would join me for that so we can chat and I can get to know you all. And on Friday, I post a quick 5-minute Friday card idea for some fast and fun inspiration. I'm also thinking of creating a Facebook group so you can share your projects with me. Let me know in the comment section below if this is something you would be interested in joining. Alrighty, enough pre-project chatter. Let's get crafty. So here I'm getting started with the die cutting process of my scraps. I begin by grabbing my stash of paper scraps. No particular order, just making sure I have a good variety to work with. I run them through my die cutting machine, creating a collection of postage collage squares and rectangles. At this stage, I'm not worried about matching colors perfectly. I just want enough contrast and interest to create several unique cards. Now let's talk about mixing and matching colors for a second. When you're working with paper scraps, the key is to balance contrast and harmony. A mix of warm and cool colors keeps things interesting, while neutrals like gray, black, or craft help anchor bright or busy patterns. Too many bold colors in one place can be overwhelming, so I like to break them up with softer tones. Once all my pieces are cut, I take my Tim Holtz scissors and I start carefully separating the postage collage squares and rectangles. I also remove any lingering die-cut dots to give them a clean finish. Now that my squares are ready, I reach for a piece of dark pink cardstock. It's almost like a wine pink color, and I trim it down to an A2 panel, which is 4 1/4 inches by 5.5 inches. Choosing a deeper cardstock color makes the die cuts pop and serves as a rich background. So why do dark colors work? Darker card bases, like deep reds, navy, or charcoal, create a visual weight that makes lighter elements stand out. They also add an elegant, polished look to the final design. I arrange 5 postage die cuts onto the panel, ensuring I use an uneven number for a more organic, visually appealing layout. Everything seems to look better in uneven numbers. I am also making sure that I use different size postage die cuts to create more visual interest. I want my cards to look organic rather than symmetric. Some are popped up with foam tape to create dimension. Then I grab my all-to-new timeless sentiment dies, cutting several layers out of white cardstock to build thickness. Keeping the sentiment white ensures it stands out against the dark background, while the metallic cardstock backdrop adds a subtle shimmer. To finish it off, I reach for Pink Fresh iridescent gems because every card needs a little sparkle, right? A trio of gems brings balance and ties the design together. And here is our first completed card. For my second card, I trim a navy blue cardstock to an A2 panel and pick 3 postage die cuts. One with pink hearts for warmth, one in teal which naturally complements navy since they both have cool undertones, one with multiple colors including pink and dark hues to tie everything together. Here I'm also bringing in a white A2 panel to show you how different the design looks on a light background. You see me play with the number of die cuts on my A2 panel, but I end up settling for just 3 since they are larger and with the dark background I don't want to overwhelm my design. Let's talk about our color harmony tip. Since navy is deep and dramatic, using teal and pink keeps the palette balanced. Teal and blue are analogous colors next to each other on the color wheel, which creates a smooth, harmonious feel. Adding a pink element, a complementary contrast, introduces warmth and excitement without clashing. I add foam tape to my die cuts for dimension. Then I take my Karen Bernstein Love You Sentiment die, cutting it out of white glitter cardstock to add that extra pop against the dark background. A few clear iridescent gems later, and this card is complete. Now it's time for a little color exploration. I pull out several cardstock shades: craft, dark purple, dark teal, and wine red, and start placing my postage die cuts onto each to see what works. The power of choosing the right background. Some colors enhance the die cuts, while others mute them. The dark purple feels too heavy and competes with my designs, so I eliminate it. Instead, I go with craft, which acts as a neutral, making colors feel softer. Wine red, which brings out warm hues. dark teal, a cool toned contrast that pairs well with light and bright scraps. I am laying out all 3 colored A2 panels and start arranging my posted die cuts on them. I start with the largest shapes first and then start looking at the colors and position to see if they go well together. I start adding smaller die cuts and different designs to see what feels right together. I will let you enjoy some music while you watch my process, and I will return when we work on our next card. Okay, starting with the dark teal card base, I have arranged 5 postage die cuts, a mixture of large and small to give it a balance. I glue them together for stability and add foam tape on the back to pop them up for dimension. For the sentiment, I die cut the hello sentiment from the Altenew Timeless Sentiment stack, layering white cardstock for thickness and cutting the backdrop out of orange metallic cardstock, a stunning complementary contrast against the teal. Orange and blue are opposites on the color wheel, meaning they naturally create visual interest and energy. I often look at the color wheel to help me make decisions on what colors would look great together. a few clear gems, and the card is done. This may actually be my favorite card from today. I would love to hear your opinion, so make sure to leave me a comment below. On this next card, I stick with a monochromatic palette: pinks, reds, corals, and white. Using different shades of the same color creates a cohesive, elegant look. Monochrome cards feel sophisticated and intentional, even when using scraps. I stack and pop up the die cuts to give them dimension and added interest. Then I try to decide which sentiment would look best with the die cut design. I settle on the Hello die cut from Altenew Timeless Sentiments. Then I die cut Hello out of champagne metallic cardstock for a warm, classy finish. I add clear gems, and this card is complete. Moving on to our craft card. I use lighter toned die cuts so they don't get lost against a neutral background. I choose a few large die cuts and some small ones so the card front looks well blended and organic. I add foam adhesive to a few of the postage die cuts for dimension. Then it's time to choose a sentiment. I decide to go with a black sentiment strip, which adds contrast and anchors the design. This is a simple but high impact trick. The black cardstock is bold and the white text grounds lighter elements beautifully. I cut off the tails from the sentiment strip on the right side so I can adhere it flush with the edge of the cardstock. This creates a clean, more modern look. It creates a more anchored look by aligning the sentiment strip with the beginning of the cardstock edge. It naturally leads the eye across the card in a structured way. This makes the design feel intentional and balanced. It also eliminates extra visual weight. Keeping the tails intact might create unnecessary visual weight on one side, which can sometimes make the sentiment look disconnected from the rest of the design. Removing them ensures a more cohesive, streamlined appearance. It also enhances readability. Without the tails extending outward, the sentiment stands out more as a focal point rather than blending into the background. And it provides, as I mentioned, a clean and modern feel. Straight edges and aligned elements often give a more polished and contemporary aesthetic, especially when paired with geometric elements like my postage die cuts. I am adding some clear iridescent gems and my card is finished. For my final card, I'm starting with a rich navy blue cardstock from my A2 panel. Dark backgrounds like this make lighter elements pop, creating contrast and drawing attention to the details. Navy is a great neutral, less harsh than black, but still bold and grounding. Next, I'm selecting 5 different Postage Collage die cuts. The key to mixing patterns is balance. I want a mix of light and dark, simple and busy, and organic and geometric elements. Here's how these choices work together. The navy gingham gives structure, adding a classic touch. The dark purple floral with gold specks brings elegance and just a hint of shimmer. The multicolored triangles add a fun pop of color and tie in the different hues on the card. The white with abstract triangles provides breathing room, keeping the design from feeling too heavy. The green and coral tropical leaves introduce an organic element, balancing out the geometric patterns. I arrange these in a clustered composition, following the rules of odds, using 5 pieces for a naturally pleasing look. Some of the pieces are popped up with foam tape for dimension, making the arrangement feel more dynamic. For the sentiment, I'm using a bold Hello Friend from the Altenew Timeless Sentiments, in white with a navy shadow layer. White against navy creates strong contrast, ensuring the sentiment remains the focal point. The chunky font balances out the detailed background, keeping the design cohesive. To finish, I'm adding iridescent gems for a touch of sparkle. These tie into the gold specks on the floral die cut, bringing in just a hint of shine without overpowering the card. A bold background, a well-balanced mix of patterns, and strategic dimension help pull this card together. And that's it. 6 stunning cards, all made from scraps. This just goes to show that with a little color theory and creative arrangement, you can turn leftover paper into beautiful, cohesive designs. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you never miss another video. I post regularly to bring you more card making inspiration. Let me know in the comments which card was your favorite. Happy crafting, and I'll see you next time.